Okay, so I just thought this would be a good time to do a video to explain how the septic system works. In this specific case, this is a sand mound system. So basically, the sewage comes, everything, all the plumbing in the house is all the same as if it were connected to public sewer, except when it comes out the house, here it goes into first the holding tank or treatment tank, and this is where the solids connect, or this is where the solids collect. Now this is where normally where you would connect to your public sewer, and then from there we go to a public treatment plant. So here basically you have your own sewage treatment plant, a tiny version of one. So in here the solids separate from the liquid. The solids will collect on the surface and sludge sinks to the bottom, and then in the middle is relatively clean water, okay, free of solids. In this particular instance, because we have a sand mound system, you have to have, or at least you should have, ow, something bit me. You should have two compartments, two chances for solids to settle out. As you notice, there's relatively no solids in this compartment because there is a concrete divider in between. So that's why you don't see any of the solids here. That plastic thing right there, that's your outlet baffle. That's what prevents solids from going out into your pump tank or your drain field. So there's also one here on this side, you can't see it, but anyways, so then from here your solids settle out, goes to pump tank. So down in here is a pump. There's this thing right here is a float switch. That float switch comes up and down as the water level rises, and when it comes up high enough, it'll turn on the pump. That pump then will pump that water into your drain field, or in this case, your sand mound. Okay. In this particular sand mound, you can see that it's raised up above the ground. So when you see a hump in your yard with usually you see pipes sticking out like this, that's your sand mound. Okay, so it goes from there, and then at some point underground it splits off and branches out into 3 branches. Okay, so there's a line here, here, and here. There's 3 lines. Okay, and then because I'm doing a hydraulic load test, I have this open, and that's why I thought this would be a really good time, because then you can actually see the drain field. So you can see this white pipe is one of those branches, okay? And then it puts a dose of water into the drain field every time that pump turns on. And then there's perforations in this pipe, and then basically then the water will soak down into here, and then basically get filtered through the stone, and then underneath is actually sand. So yeah, so this is a good sign. You can see that this stone is relatively clean of any biomat, or like a gray sludge is what builds up over time. So we'll see what happens when we do the load test, but it's looking good so far. And that's pretty much it. Every so often you have to have these tanks pumped clear. As a matter of fact, I hear the pumper is here now, so we're gonna have this pump so we can inspect the inside of the tank. But yeah, another important component I'm gonna mention to you is this right here is an alarm. So if that pump goes bad, the alarm will go off. You'll hear it inside the house. So we'll have to test that too, make sure that's working. So but yeah, that is the gist of it.